Feeling the pinch. Tonight, the numbers aren't in yet, but the demands are loud and clear. What everyday Bahamians say they need from this year's budget set to be delivered in Parliament tomorrow. Also, hijacked by politics. One major union says it's sitting out this year's march, claiming Labor Day is being used as a political tool. But others say they are still showing up. You've got the fallout straight ahead. And Royal Caribbean's Royal Beach Club sailing toward completion as Bahamians reaping the benefits. We've got new details on the project from today's Power Brunch aboard Symphony of the Seas. Then in our news at 7:30, with the national budget on deck, Grand Bahamas business community laying out what they want to hear. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kendino Knowles. We are just hours away from the Prime Minister's highly anticipated national budget communication. Residents calling on the nation's leader for relief, and they weren't shy about sharing their expectations with our news. We'll get to what they're hoping for in less than 5 minutes, but we begin tonight far south as a bizarre and gruesome murder rocking a small, quaint and quiet Acklins community. A father murdered and believed decapitated at the hands of a close relative last evening, but police have said very little almost a day after the crime. Our Delvado Emmanuel, who's following this, was able to speak with the island's chief counselor for an update police weren't either able or unwilling to provide.
Two individuals in the police custody up to this morning, and I believe I can't confirm at this point in time that they are still in, but up to this morning after 11 a.m. they were still in police custody during that time.
Despite repeated and graphic social media reports, police could not confirm any details almost 24 hours after this alleged gruesome crime. Even the initial report of a search for a missing Acklins man around 9:30 Monday night came hours after the story surfaced on social media. Tuesday's front page of the Tribune newspaper was titled "Beheaded Dad Buried on Beach," and despite repeated requests, police could not provide any updates throughout the day. Even the officer in charge on Acklins could not as much confirm that a body was found. Our news finally caught up with the island's chief counselor, Marvin Campbell. He identified the victim as Sean Ferguson. Sources also telling our news Ferguson was killed inside his home, dismembered, and his remains were buried nearby. Our news also understands police from Nassau were deployed to investigate and evacuate the shorelines on that southern island.
I have not received any report back as yet to confirm if they did recover the bodies. I know you have a team of investigators out of Nassau who was present on the island working along with the officers here in leading the investigation.
Sources also telling our news that two people in custody allegedly confessed to the gruesome crime. Ferguson, a well-known government consultant, was said to be in good spirits and actively planning for the upcoming festival this weekend. The island, known for its peaceful community ties, is said to be reeling from the tragedy, shaking residents to their core.
The whole island, up to like last night after 2 a.m., persons were still out their bed, sitting down, trying to put the puzzles together, like what could have went wrong.
Reporting for our news, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
All right, thanks for that, Delvado. Now to Eleuthera, where a late-night shooting in Harbour Island has landed a woman in hospital. Investigators say the victim was one of two people sitting in a car parked on Alice Street when gunfire erupted from a passing vehicle. She was taken to the local clinic and later airlifted to New Providence, where she is listed in serious but stable condition. Police have arrested a 30 and 32-year-old man as well as a 30-year-old woman in connection with this latest crime. And a police constable has denied soliciting sex from a 32-year-old woman he found with her boyfriend on Yamacraw Beach. Constable Shaquille Williamson testified in his defense before Justice Renee McKay Tuesday. The prosecutors say around 2 a.m. on July 5th, 2023, Williamson, who was on patrol alone, caught the couple having sex, ordered them to dress, and ran name checks. After learning the woman had an outstanding warrant, Williamson allegedly told her she could avoid arrest by having sex with him. The woman then called police while Williamson spoke to her boyfriend. He was arrested after police confirmed no warrant existed. Williamson denies abusing his authority or soliciting sex. A 9-member jury will decide his fate next week. All right, with Prime Minister Philip Davis set to deliver the 2025-2026 budget communication this Wednesday, people are eager to hear what's coming next. Delvado Emmanuel took to the streets to find out the issues that are top of mind for everyday residents.
Lowering the price of food and electricity bill, that is my most want thing for him to do.
Behemoths making it clear what matters they want addressed in the upcoming budget communication. That's slated for Wednesday morning. Every year, the budget communication gives the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance a chance to outline the government's plans for national spending, taxation, and policy direction for the upcoming fiscal year. This year, with high cost of living, housing concerns, unemployment, and a global trade war at the top of minds for many, residents say they'll be listening closely to see if their voices are being heard.
Slashing the amount 10% to 5%, that is good, that's all good, but a lot of behemoths are still not seeing it in their pockets.
While Wright gave the government credit for trying, others like these two retirees are looking for more than just efforts. They're looking for real results.
A decline in food costs, pharmaceutical stuff, especially feminine products for the elderly, because it's the pension really don't cover what is needed, and medication is extremely high.
It is high, and particularly for those like me on a fixed budget, retired, and no other source of income other than your pension. So it is hard, particularly hard on people like me.
Millennials are also adding to the discussion.
That there should be an increase in minimum wage for the people of the Bahamas.
Meantime, Chamber of Commerce CEO Leo Roll also weighing in on what he expects to hear for those in the business community.
What we're also hoping is that the budget is business friendly. What that means is no new taxes, but also not an exorbitant amount of fees or increases in fees that will offset the no new taxes. We're also hoping for a budget that considers the nuances that businesses have and some of the challenges that the family islands have.
Reporting for our news, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
All right, thanks for that, Delvado. Well, if you're wondering what government's planning to spend and where your money's going this upcoming financial year, our news and RTV has got you covered. Tune in live as the Prime Minister presents the 2025-2026 national budget, Wednesday, May 28th at 9 a.m. We'll bring it to you live on RTV channel 212. And of course, you can stream it on Facebook or the Our News YouTube channel, so you can watch from wherever you are. And with Labor Day still over a week away, tensions are already rising. One major Congress is pulling out of the traditional march, saying it shouldn't be politicized and must stay focused on workers' rights. With the Trade Union Congress planning to skip the event, other unions say they're still set to show up. Personally, McDermott breaks down exactly what's going on.
One day after, Trade Union Congress President Obie Ferguson said unions will not attend the Randall Folks Labor Day Parade, union leaders are coming out to say they will attend the historical event. In a statement, the University of Tertiary Educators of the Bahamas President Daniel Thompson said his union will attend the march on June 6th. Bahamas Public Services Union President Kimsley Ferguson said his membership will also be out, along with the Bahamas National Alliance of Trade Union Congress, of which the BPSU is a part of.
Mr. Ferguson took a position. I believe it's simply because a relationship went south and he was unable to achieve what it was. Again, we did not participate in the Memorandum of Understanding because we clearly understand the role of the union and the role of the employer as mandated by the Industrial Relations Act.
When it comes to the Trade Union Congress, the TUC had signed a Memorandum of Understanding ahead of the 2021 general election, throwing its support behind the Davis-led PLP, against the backdrop that they will fulfill a list of commitments if elected. But according to the TUC chief, there are still several commitments left in the balance as another general election looms. One point of the MOU is the refurbishment of the House of Labor on Wolf Road, but that hasn't happened. He says this Labor Day, unionists will gather there.
We're inviting all members and Bahamian workers and working people of the Bahamas to come to the House of Labor, because that's where it all began. In its dilapidated state that is in, we want them to see it.
The TUC head says Labor Day must not be mixed up and remain focused on workers' issues. He pointed out the $260 minimum wage and the appointment of Pia Glover-Roll as Minister of the Public Service and Labor, which he says is a conflict of interest, among other issues. However, he made it clear that the trade union is still supporting the governing PLP.
But there are people who are, for whatever reason, they're trying to create a smokescreen and trying to make it appear as though we are against Brave. We signed a document where we want to honor it, but the minister, they have their own little private agenda.
Reporting for our news, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks for that, Berthany. Royal Caribbean closing in on completing its $165 million Royal Beach Club on Paradise Island. The project has already created 200 Bahamian jobs, with locals owning 49% of the venture. It will feature Bahamian boutiques and a joint venture to run a water taxi business with a Bahamian partner. On Tuesday, we got the latest update at a power brunch hosted by Royal Caribbean and the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce aboard the Symphony of the Seas. Royal Beach Club President is Philip Simon.
The construction schedule is on time. We believe we're about 50% there. We have obviously the other half of the year to go for an opening in December of 2025. The shareholders agreement is currently being finalized between ourselves and government. We hope to have that completed soon. Obviously that is necessary to move forward in the process before we get to the Securities Commission, etc. Once that's done, we hope that by Q3 of this year, we can make that available.
All right, the project is expected to produce a lot of waste. The club coming up with a dual waste management system that will provide a better, more sustainable way of getting rid of that waste. Technical and maintenance director is Alfonso Bo. He tells us how.
The three critical points is the garbage and the aluminum waste will be recycled. A lot of the shrubbery and organic waste will be composted and recycled into soil and fertilizers as best we can. And of course, we are going to recycle the human waste and condition it and try to make it useful on the site as best we can. And the solids will be stored and compacted and converted into fertilizers as well.
And the big day finally arriving for hundreds of graduates at University of the Bahamas. Students walked across the stage, got their degrees, and tossed their tassels, marking the end of the years-long journey at UB. Today's commencement held at Bahamar Convention Center. One of the graduates, Alicia Pinder, described her journey from student to degree holder.
Nights where I doubted everything from my major to my ability to make microwave noodles. I have faced depression, imposter syndrome, financial stress, and moments where the only thing keeping me going was Apple Music's motivational pop list. But every single trial became a stomping ground for triumph.
All right, I definitely know that playlist. Congratulations to all of today's graduates. We've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he's in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Canino, and a happy Tuesday evening, everybody. Warm again on the outside, temperatures not giving us any bit of a relief. 85 degrees is our current temperature with a few clouds. East winds at 10 miles per hour, but the feels like temperature is a very warm 87 degrees. Temperatures around the islands right now, still a warm day and evening around the islands. 84 in Freeport, Great Harbour Key, and in Alistown, Bimini. Marsh Harbour, Abaco, 83, also in Governor's Harbour. Nichols San Andres, here in the capital, 85s. Central Bahamas, 85 in Kemps Bay. We pick up 84s in Black Point, the Exumas, Arthurstown, Cat Island, and then a string of 83s in Georgetown, Great Exuma, Deadman's Key, Long Island, Port Nelson, Rum Key, and in Coopin Townsend, Salvador. Southeast Bahamas, 82 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, 84s. Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Delectable Bay, and Providenciales, Turks and Caicos Islands. Abrahams Bay, Meguana, 83. Matthewtown, Inagua, you're right. Your temperature right now is at 85. Satellite radar composite, it is just rinse and repeat. High pressure is in charge. A dry air mass still in place. Nothing happening across our area. We're not seeing anything in terms of any relief in the rainfall, nor clouds. Beautiful sunshine, but it is very warm. We expect those warm conditions to continue with us through the remainder of the week. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, there's a big game at home this summer for bragging rights, but before he gets to that, promotion is on the line for Franco Miller Jr. in Spain.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Hey, y'all gotta watch the Charlie Banana show this week, you know. Me and Battle could be on. We take over from Charlie Bahama. He ain't here no more. Me and Battle could be on. You see? And we got the creator of Collage Them, Stop Like in Man, and Tag on Everything. He could be on the show with Charlie Banana, okay? Saying? Cable Bahamas, channel 212, 8 o'clock Friday. Be there or don't.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there. Cable Bahamas, RTV, experience more.
Welcome to Journey TV.
I'm glad the Wally boys have split, because you know what? They ain't being no more competition.
The words on the Spelling Bee show with Ian Dallard.
Phosphorescent.
Hey, it's the Charlie Bahama Show. Welcome, I'm your boy, Charlie Bahama.
New season of grooving is here.
Hey, y'all gotta watch the Charlie Banana Show this week, you know. Me and Battle could be on. We take over from Charlie Bahama. He ain't here no more. Me and Battle could be on. You see? And we got the creator of Collage Them, Stop Liking Man, and Tag on Everything. He can be on the show with Charlie Banana, okay? Saying? Cable Bahamas, channel 212, 8 o'clock Friday. Be there or don't.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. Franco Miller Jr.'s rookie season of pro basketball may be historic for his club, with an opportunity this weekend at Promotion. The team advanced to the final playoff round for Promotion to Primera FEB against Huesca La Magia in a home and away series. In the first leg, Miller scored a team-high 11 points and made 3 three-pointers, but Palmer lost 68-65, setting the stage for a decisive return match at home on May 31st. Sammy Hunter's rookie season has produced a league title in Kosovo. Hunter and KB Trepka won the Kosovo Basketball Super League title on May 21st. They defeated KB Bashkimi 82-67 in Game 6 of the finals, winning the series 4-2. Hunter's best game of the series was in Game 3 when he scored 11 points and grabbed 4 rebounds. Jazz Chisholm Jr. may be back on the field sooner than expected. New York Yankees manager Aaron Boone indicated that Chisholm is scheduled for a full workout today to assess his recovery from his oblique injury. A good showing could mean Chisholm would be placed on a minor league rehab assignment later this week. The Yankees have been shorthanded in the infield with injuries with Chisholm and Oswaldo Cabrera. Chisholm has been on the injured list since April 30th following a game against the Baltimore Orioles where he suffered 3 high-grade tears in his right oblique. Several Olympians made appearances on the pro track and field circuit. Rima Otterborg competed this past weekend at the 50 Hauptplatz Refertage in Germany and finished second with a season's best throw in the javelin at 61.94 meters. Sprint hurdler Denisha Cartwright competed at the Boris Hans Vukovic Memorial in the Czech Republic and placed 4th in the 100-meter hurdles in 13.07 seconds. That would do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the Trump administration halting new student visa appointments worldwide. Plus, King Charles delivers a rare speech from the throne defending Canada's sovereignty. And a former bad boy executive says Sean Diddy Combs forced her into a car driving to rapper Kid Cudi's home with a gun. We've got the latest from the trial when our news returns.
Hey, y'all gotta watch the Charlie Banana Show this week, you know. Me and Battle could be on. We take over from Charlie Bahama. He ain't here no more. Me and Battle could be on. You see? And we got the creator of Collage Them, Stop Like in Man, and Tag on Everything. He could be on the show with Charlie Banana. Okay? Saying? Cable Bahamas channel 212, 8 o'clock Friday. Be there or don't.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there. Cable Bahamas, RTV, experience more.
Welcome to Journey TV.
I'm glad the Wally boys have split, because you know what? There ain't no being no more competition.
The words on the Spelling Bee show with Ian Dalhad.
Phosphorescent.
Hey, it's the Charlie Bahama Show. Welcome, I'm your boy, Charlie Bahama.
New season of groovin' is here.
Hey, y'all gotta watch the Charlie Banana Show this week, you know. Me and Battle could be on. We take over from Charlie Bahama. He ain't here no more. Me and Battle could be on. You see? And we got the creator of Collage Them, Stop Like in Man, and Tag on Everything. He could be on the show with Charlie Banana. Okay? Saying? Cable Bahamas channel 212, 8 o'clock Friday. Be there or don't.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The United States State Department has ordered embassies worldwide to pause new student visa appointments as it expands social media checks on all applicants, according to a diplomatic cable obtained by CNN. The move, which is part of the Trump administration's tough stance on student visas, could slow down the process and create backlogs. Already, hundreds of student visas have been revoked, and a recent attempt to block foreign students at Harvard University was temporarily halted by a judge. Scheduled appointments will proceed, but no new ones will be added until further notice. The State Department says it's focused on thorough vetting to protect national security. King Charles opened Canada's new Parliament session with a rare speech from the throne Tuesday, his first and the first by a monarch since Queen Elizabeth in 1977. The message? Canada's sovereignty matters. The remarks, written by Prime Minister Mark Carney's government, outlined a stronger military, a more independent economy, and a defiant tone toward U.S. President Donald Trump's recent claims that Canada should become America's 51st state. Speaking partly in French, Charles called today's world more dangerous than any time since World War II, but said Canada will not just survive global instability, it will emerge stronger.
Today, Canada faces another critical moment. Democracy, pluralism, the rule of law, self-determination, and freedom are values which Canadians hold dear, and ones which the government is determined to protect. As the anthem reminds us, the true North is indeed strong and free.
And a former top aide to Sean Diddy Combs testified Tuesday that the music mogul once kidnapped her at gunpoint and said they were going to kill rapper Kid Cudi. Capricorn Clark, who was a longtime executive at Bad Boy Entertainment, told the court Combs forced her into a car in 2011 and drove to Cudi's home, angry over his brief relationship with singer Cassie. She told jurors she called Cassie from the car and said, quote, "Puff's got a gun. We're at Cudi's house," end quote. Prosecutors say it's part of a decades-long pattern of violence and abuse. Combs has pleaded not guilty and denies all charges, but he's facing life in prison if convicted. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was May 27th. Then in our news at 7:30, behind the budget, what it takes to balance the nation's books. The Economic Affairs Minister gives us a look inside the process. And with billions pouring into new developments, there's a call for Grand Bahamians to return home. But is the island ready for the population surge that could follow? Find out coming up when our news returns.
This is Trey Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Hey, y'all gotta watch the Charlie Banana show this week, you know. Me and Battle could be on, we take over from Charlie Bahama. He ain't here no more. Me and Battle could be on. You see? And we got the creator of Collage Them, Stop Liking Man, and Tag on Everything. He could be on the show with Charlie Banana, okay? Saying? Cable Bahamas, channel 212, 8 o'clock Friday. Be there or don't.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world.
This day in Bahamian history, in 1817, the United States vessel Miriam wrecked off the coast of Great Anagua. The Historical Society notes the ship was traveling from Baltimore, Maryland to Jamaica when she ran aground. Then in 1929, this Times news article detailing American mobster Al Capone's purchase of an island in the Bahamas. In 1941, the Nassau rugby team won the series against Yale to take its unbeaten record to 15 years. This photo showing the governor, Duke of Windsor, who often kicked off the games. March 27, 1960, Eugene Davis was born in Moores Island, Abaco. Known by his stage name Gino D, he is a musician and entertainer who sings rake and scrape, gumbe, and junkanu music. Some of his hits include That Gal Look Good, Inagua, Gal If I Had You, and You Remember When. And finally in 2019, hailstorms were experienced in several settlements on the island of Grand Bahama. All right, to watch that historical recap again, and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. That's going to do it for us. The News at 7. Joining us now, Atalia Hall. She's up with the latest headlines. Do you remember that hailstorm, Atalia?
I remember that hailstorm. We've had a few over the past decade or so, but yeah, interesting times.
Listen, hopefully it'll turn to snow.
Hopefully.
This summer.
Because it's hot.
100 degrees feels like today.
For sure.
Gosh, yeah.
But happy Tuesday, Ken.
Same.
And we know tomorrow's a big day here in the country, and so
big day.
Yeah,
big day. Highly anticipated budget communication. Folks, as we heard them say on the street today, there's a lot that they're hoping for, that there's going to be relief for. So yeah.
And we'll hear more from residents coming up at 7:30. And also, there's renewed calls for Grand Bahamians to come home, but is the island ready for a potential population boom? Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our News Live at 7:30, what goes into crafting a national budget ahead of tomorrow's budget communication by the nation's leader? Economic Affairs Minister Michael Halkitis explains the process. Also, with the Grand Lucayan deal signed and budget day on the horizon, Grand Bahama's business community is speaking out. Hear what they want to see in the new budget, plus a broken AC forces early dismissal for Ministry of Health employees. The union weighs in and says this has been going on for weeks. And later, a gas station pump attendant is behind bars tonight after he allegedly stabbed a co-worker. The story when our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Operation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, INTI redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayan solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. INTI is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as INTI Corporation shines brighter than ever. INTI Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
Diet-friendly special.
Mosquitoes becoming an issue? Struckham Commercial Pest Services is the #1 service provider for vanquishing those annoying bugs. Mosquitoes are more than a nuisance. They're also a health risk, transmitting diseases including malaria, dengue fever, and even the West Nile virus. With accredited verified training and technology, Struckham will deal with the conditions that invite mosquitoes, tackle current infestations, and stop their life cycle, therefore reducing the number of mosquitoes on your corporate property. Struckham, #1 in pest control services.
Grand Bahama is home to a unique economic arrangement, with that arrangement between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority under scrutiny as tensions persist.
It's not our direct responsibility to carry out these other things that people think we should be doing.
We need this to be dealt with quicker than quicker and sooner than sooner.
I have a vision for Grand Bahama, and my vision's actually bigger than my grandfather's ever was.
Watch City in Focus, the story of Freeport with Italia Hall, starting August 7th, only on RTV.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set them all, go deal with that fast, yeah. Try set them all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Italia Hall. Tomorrow morning, Prime Minister Philip Davis will deliver the 2025-2026 budget communication in Parliament. That's when PM Davis is expected to outline his administration's plan for the country's finances from July 1st to June 30th, 2026. But what does it take to put together a national budget? Economic Affairs Minister Michael Halkitis explains.
Ministry is giving their wish list, so to speak, what they would like to have, and then over the months, that is put into a framework on what revenue the government expects to make, and then that determines how much can be spent, and then you determine your priorities as to who will get the lion's share.
And while ministries have their own wish lists, some take precedence over others.
That has traditionally been things like education, health, security, and even then within those ministries, which projects would get priority and which will be funded. And so that's a month-long process of back and forth between the Ministry of Finance and the ministries. And so now that is just about complete. It's just now for the final sign-off and the presentation. And so it has been going smoothly. We thank all of the professionals throughout the public service, all of the ministries, who have come forward and been involved in the meetings, Ministry of Finance, the whole budget staff.
It's been nearly 2 weeks since government signed a heads of agreement for the Grand Lucayne Resort, a major step many say is promising, but still years from completion. Now, with the national budget communication just hours away, the business community in Grand Bahama is weighing in on what they hope to hear. Come Wednesday, the country will hear from the nation's leader as he presents the 2025-2026 budget communication in the House of Assembly, charting the government's fiscal priorities and plans for the year ahead. And for the island of Grand Bahama, many residents are watching. The most recent development on that northern island, a signed heads of agreement for the Grand Lucayne Resort, which offers long-term hope. But with the project still in early phases, many are asking what's next for the island in the short term. President of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, Dylan Knoll, says with cruise lines making major investments on the island, tourism is showing signs of life, but he believes more can be done to maximize that potential.
We need to be building the revamp of the airport. Not because we need an airport today, but because we will need an airport when these projects come online and we have passengers trying to get to Grand Bahama.
And he adds more airlift is needed.
We need to have economical airlift. So we need to deal with the fee structure that kind of hinders the airlift availability to Grand Bahama and to work on that in tandem with working on building a new airport.
Chair of the Public Relations Committee, Brandon Hall, says the next step must include direct support for the business community.
Having an increased budget allocation to support, educate, and provide the resources for our SMEs is essential to be able to build out all of the infrastructure and the capacity to meet the needs of all of these opportunities coming to Grand Bahama.
Well, wondering what government's planning to spend and where your money's going this upcoming financial year? Well, Our News and Our TV has you covered. Tune in live as Prime Minister Philip Davis presents the 2025-2026 national budget Wednesday, May 28th at 9 a.m. We'll bring it to you live on Our TV channel 212. And of course, you can stream it on Facebook or the Our News YouTube channel so you can watch from wherever you are. Now turning to court, a gas station pump attendant is behind bars after he allegedly stabbed a co-worker during a row. Prosecutors allege that 29-year-old Chris Elliott attempted to murder Samuel Duncombe on May 20th. The incident allegedly took place at the Shell service station on University Drive. Elliott didn't have to enter a plea to the charge when he stood before Magistrate Shaka Seville. Bail was denied and Elliott is back in court on September 4th to receive voluntary bill of indictment papers. Well, employees at the Ministry of Health were dismissed early Tuesday morning after the air conditioning unit had been out of service for weeks. That's according to Bahamas Public Services Union President Kingsley Ferguson. The union chief telling us that this unit has been down for 3 weeks, but employees were still required to work in the building. Ferguson says he reached out to Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville, who advised the landlords were examining the building.
He indicated that when they put in one part, something else goes wrong. And this has been ongoing for at least more than a year. And so we have recommendations. Get rid of the unit and replace it with a new one. Each of these offices that senior officers occupy in the Ministry of Health has in their offices air conditioning that's independent of the air condition for the building.
APSU shop steward Joanna Strawn said it hasn't been easy for employees working in the building. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville telling us there was a failure of the compressor at the Ministry of Health. He said the vendor is trying to correct the problem and confirmed staffers were dismissed today, and should the issue persist Wednesday morning, he says the ministry will again alert its employees. After reaching out to officials and getting no response, Strawn says workers are tired.
I think that's very disrespectful, especially, to the staff. The staff is the one that make it happen. The staff expand your business. Without the staff, it would not be a business, And until they sit in D.C., they'll understand how the staff feeling.
While the Trade Union Congress claims there has been little done in relation to that Memorandum of Understanding, Labor and the Public Service Minister Pia Glover-Roll is seeking to set the record straight. Glover-Roll called the TUC's position and narrative disappointing, misleading, and not reflective of the truth. In a video statement today, Glover-Roll said government has been working through the MOU, but she says practical issues are hindering some of the changes they are pushing for. Glover-Roll says the government will not fund the refurbishment of the House of Labor.
We cannot dictate membership on private pension boards. We cannot control private health facilities. We cannot and will not foot the entire $2 million bill for renovating the privately owned House of Labor. We have committed to assist, but unions collect dues, and they must also have skin in the game. We are approaching the renovation as a shared responsibility.
Glover-Roll added that the TUC has also demanded an automatic agencyship. While it's being discussed, she says it hasn't been agreed to by stakeholders. She lists several other points which she says are being addressed as a part of the legislative reform process, but added there are some things out of the government's control.
Another request made by the TUC is for the government to unionize private employers like Bahama and Grand Lucayan. But unionization is not something governments can impose on organizations. The workers themselves must choose to unionize.
Well, hot temperatures on this Tuesday, and it doesn't seem as if we'll see a shift in temperatures soon. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is live in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions around the islands and outside our studios on this Tuesday evening. 85 degrees with a few clouds, and it is warm. East winds at 10 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is in the mid to upper 80s. Satellite radar composite, high pressure at the surface and aloft dominating our weather. That's providing us with very dry air mass in place. So we're not seeing much in terms of any significant clouds, nor are we seeing much in terms of rainfall. And those temperatures will stay rather warm and toasty over the next couple of days as high pressure system stays with us. Feels like temperatures will be in the triple digits. So if you plan on being on the outdoors, make sure you stay hydrated, take frequent breaks from the sunshine. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, a spotlight on local progress continues tonight in our weekly City in Focus series, plus a life-saving partnership returns. The third annual Gift of Life blood drive is back this weekend in Grand Bahama, and later young artist gets hands-on experience at a national forum designed to spark creativity and celebrate independence through art. And that's all coming up when our news returns.
Y'all gotta watch the Charlie Banana show this week, Me and Battle could be on. We take over from Charlie Bahama. He ain't here no more. Me and Battle could be on. You see? And we got the creator of Collage Them, Stop Like in Man, and Tag on Everything. He could be on the show with Charlie Banana, okay? Saying? Cable Bahamas, channel 212, 8 o'clock Friday. Be there or don't.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
With Grand Bahama now boasting the fastest growing economy in the country and billions of dollars pouring into new developments, there's a renewed call for Grand Bahamians to come home. But with that call comes the question, is the island ready for a potential population boom? In tonight's City in Focus, our news anchor Candino Knowles put that question to the executive at the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
I know it is hard work. I know that we have a dedicated team. We would love to see more, and so we don't rest on our laurels and pat ourselves often because there's so much more to be done.
It's a small team with a big job. 5 departments under the Grand Bahama Port Authority's Billing and Development Services Division, working to keep Freeport clean, functional, and future-ready. Vice President Nikira Wilchcomb says it's a mission they don't take lightly.
Even though we're representing a private entity, there's certainly a lot of public sentiment and wanting to know that, we are working for the people.
With Carnival Celebration Key opening in just weeks and a new Grand Lucayan resort on the horizon, billions of dollars in investments are flowing into Freeport, and with it, the expectation of a growing population. But is the city ready?
One of the things that's great about the city is that we had forefathers that did a lot of planning and zoning, and so these areas are just prepped and waiting and ready to be utilized. As the city grows, we have to look at road traffic and evolve there, and our infrastructure as well. We want to continue moving with the times, but much was done in the early days to accommodate a larger population.
And while more people means more economic activity, it also means more trash and more wear and tear. Still, Wilchcomb says they're ready.
So obviously with more people may come more issues, and so we are definitely cognizant of that, and we are prepared to increase our staffing if that is necessary, increase the manpower. I have to reiterate, we want the people, and so we will have to figure it out how we can manage both people and the issues that come with an increased population.
Reporting for our news, I'm Candino Knowles.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
When our news comes back from the break, a major blood drive returns to Grand Bahama, and organizers say your donation could save a life.
Coming up in sports, Bahamas national basketball team players have standout rookie seasons in Europe. We're starting to get a timeline on the path back to the field for Jazz and an update on the pros in track and field.
Also, art, inspiration, and national pride, a free youth art forum kicks off celebrations for the country's 52nd year of independence. We have all the details when our news returns. Each week
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, from the teams you already trust. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, from the teams you already trust.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there. Cable Bahamas, RTV, experience more.
Welcome to Journey TV.
I'm glad the Wally boys have split, because you know what? There ain't no being any more competition.
The words on the Spelling Bee show ain't a lot.
Phosphorescent.
Hey, it's the Charlie Bahama Show. Welcome, I'm your boy, Charlie Bahama.
New season of grooving is here.
Hey, y'all gotta watch the Charlie Banana Show this week, you know. Me and Battle could be on. We take over from Charlie Bahama. He ain't here no more. Me and Battle could be on. You see? And we got the...
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. Franco Miller Jr.'s rookie season of pro basketball may be historic for his club, with an opportunity this weekend at Promotion. The team advanced to the final playoff round for Promotion to Primera FEB against Huesca La Magia in a home and away series. In the first leg, Miller scored a team-high 11 points and made 3 three-pointers, but Palmer lost 68-65, setting the stage for a decisive return match at home on May 31st. Over the course of the season, Miller averaged 12.4 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. His rookie season was highlighted by his performance against Mataro, when he scored a career-high 31 points and earned MVP honors. Sammy Hunter's rookie season has produced a league title in Kosovo. Hunter and KB Trepka won the Kosovo Basketball Super League title on May 21st. They defeated KB Bashkimi 82-67 in Game 6 of the finals, winning the series 4-2. Hunter's best game of the series was in Game 3 when he scored 11 points and grabbed 4 rebounds. Earlier in the season, Trebeka also won the Kosovo Cup for the 4th consecutive time when they defeated Bashkimi 85-79 in the final. Throughout the regular season, Hunter averaged 9.7 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 1.3 assists per game. He shot 45% from the field and 35% from 3. Jazz Chisholm Jr. may be back on the field sooner than expected. New York Yankees manager Aaron Boone indicated that Chisholm is scheduled for a full workout today to assess his recovery from his oblique injury. A good showing could mean Chisholm would be placed on a minor league rehab assignment later this week. The Yankees have been shorthanded in the infield with injuries with Chisholm and Oswaldo Cabrera. Chisholm has been on the injured list since April 30th following a game against the Baltimore Orioles where he suffered 3 high-grade tears in his right oblique. He was initially projected to be sidelined 4 to 6 weeks. Prior to the injury, Chisholm was batting .181 with 7 home runs, 17 RBIs, and 6 stolen bases over 30 games. Several Olympians made appearances on the pro track and field circuit. Rima Otterborg competed this past weekend at the 50 Hauptplatz Refertage in Germany and finished second with a season's best throw in the javelin at 61.94 meters. Sprint hurdler Denisha Cartwright competed at the Boris Hans Vukovic Memorial in the Czech Republic and placed 4th in the 100-meter hurdles in 13.07 seconds. Both Kaiwan Calmer and Laquan Nairn competed at the USATF Throws Festival in Tucson, Arizona. Calmer was 3rd in the triple jump at 16.64 meters, and Nairn was 4th in the long jump at 7.72 meters. That would do it for Our Sports. So Sammy got it done in Kosovo. Now Franco has to get this win. Bombers basketball's on the rise. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, from community collaboration to critical care, a major blood drive returns to Grand Bahama, and organizers say your donation could save a life. And temperatures are heating up in the capital on this Tuesday. Will we see a change soon? Greg is back with your extended forecast when our news continues. Stay with us.
To Journey TV.
I'm glad the Wally boys have split, because you know what? There ain't no being any more competition.
The words on the Spelling Bee show ain't a lot.
Phosphorescent.
Hey, it's the Charlie Bahama Show. Welcome, I'm your boy, Charlie Bahama.
New season of grooving is here.
Hey, y'all gotta watch the Charlie Banana Show this week, you know. Me and Battle could be on. We take over from Charlie Bahama. He ain't here no more. Me and Battle could be on. You see? And we got the creator of Collage Them, Stop Like in Man, and Tag on Everything. He could be on the show with Charlie Banana, okay? Saying? Cable Bahamas channel 212, 8 o'clock Friday. Be there or don't.
Welcome to Journey TV.
I'm glad the Wally boys have split, because you know what? They know being no more competition.
The words on the Spelling Bee Show in the lot. Phosphorescent.
Hey, it's the Charlie Bahama Show. Welcome, I'm your boy Charlie Bahama.
New season of groovin' is here.
This is our news. Welcome back. The official start of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season begins in a few days, and we're asking you, if you haven't done so, it's time to get prepared. Expected to be an above average season. You notice the averages here, 14 named storms, 7 of those expected to become hurricanes, and major hurricanes is around 3. But the NOAA, National Hurricane Center, now has their forecast out. 13 to 19 named storms, 6 to 10 of those becoming hurricanes, and 3 to 5 of those becoming major hurricanes of category 3 and above. Of course, last year was an even busier season, slightly below what we had last year, but this year is still expected to be an above average season. Talking about the tropics, we are going to start looking at the tropics in our satellite imagery, and it is quiet across most of the locations there. A couple of tropical waves moving off the tropical belt. First one, Central Atlantic, that is moving towards the Leeward Islands, and that's not showing much in terms of any significant development, but we have a very strong one coming off of Africa with some showers and thunderstorms. With that, of course, we look closer to home in the Gulf of Mexico and in the Western Caribbean for any possible development, and just to the east of the Bahamas. But as it stands right now, we are quiet across our area. High pressure still in charge across the Bahamas. That's going to continue to generate some very toasty conditions over the next couple of days. Dry conditions expected, but by the weekend we do expect the frontal boundary to get near. We'll show you that later on in our extended forecast. But boating conditions, very nice on the waters for the northwest and central Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. East to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, seas running 2 to 4 feet over the open waters. While in the southeast Bahamas, caution flags still in place for you guys. Mostly easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, seas running 4 to 6 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast for the next few days, we are looking at very warm conditions, mostly dry, but it's going to be sunny. Temperatures will get near the 90-degree mark. Those feels-like temperatures will be in the triple digits. But as I mentioned, by the weekend, we expect some moisture in the forecast, a couple of showers in the forecast through that time frame, but those temperatures will remain rather toasty. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, the Ministry for Grand Bahama Collabs Unit is once again teaming up with the Public Hospitals Authority and the Blood Donor Society for the 3rd annual Gift of Life Blood Drive. The event is set for Saturday, May 31st at the Hal de Gregory Complex from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Grand Bahama Minister Ginger Moxie says they are proud to join their partners once again, while President of the Blood Donor Society, Ladidra Marsh, is also grateful to support another blood drive.
I'm sure many of us have seen messages in our chat groups or flyers on social media requesting a blood donation for someone urgently in need. Some of us have stories of instances when we or family members or close friends were in dire need and the community came together to help. 1 unit of blood can save lives, and every single donation counts.
If you cannot give blood yourself, you can also bring someone with you. There is always the call for blood. There's always the need for blood at the Ram Memorial Hospital, and so we want everybody to take part.
Medical professionals also clearing up some common concerns. Supervisor at the blood bank at the Ram Memorial Hospital, Maria McIntosh, says donors must eat 45 minutes to an hour before coming to donate blood, while pathologist Dr. Anna Tankawan says hydration is a must after donating blood.
Times we ever have some queries regarding, if I want to donate blood, however, I have high blood pressure, I have diabetes. Those conditions are not an absolute contraindication as a blood donor. When you go to the Rand Memorial Hospital to donate blood, what you call this, your blood pressure is being taken. And aside from that, as long as you have been taking religiously all your medications for diabetes and hypertension, you can donate blood.
There are a lot of persons that would ask, well, I had a tattoo. I would have had a child. There are a number of questions that persons would ask as to what would deter them from coming in or defer them from coming in to donate blood. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead on and come down to the lab or call us at the hospital.
All right, great effort. Well, 100 students from around the island were treated to a free youth art forum at ICE Bahamas this morning. The art lovers were able to learn skills such as painting, sculpting, ceramics, and T-shirt printing, rather. It's the first of many events as the country prepares to celebrate 52 years of independence. Independence Secretariat Chair Leslie Miller Bryce says they wanted to kick off this year's celebration by focusing on young people.
They're taking part in different disciplines here. I'm happy that the artistic expression, the orange economy, is here represented today. We have talented young Bahamian artists such as His Excellency Jamal Roll, Felice Roberts, Preston Hanna. The list goes on and on and on. For those persons, those talented Bahamians, creatives who have given their time, their energy, and they're committed to being here with our students today. And so I celebrate them. I thank them for being here. And we just want to highlight and celebrate our young creatives.
All right, another great effort, and if you want to see that story again, is available now at ournews.bs. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.